Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans. Oh my god, it has been such a long time since I last played Battlefield 1, and I have just come back to this game because, you know, as we all have heard by now and know by now, Battlefield 2042, the new Battlefield game, is an absolute piece of, you know what, it's not a good game. So we all know that, we've all experienced it. I think most people would agree with me on that. And so, like many other people, I went back to play previous Battlefield games. For me, it's Battlefield 1 because, in my opinion, this is the best Battlefield that's ever been done. And I know a lot of people may disagree with me on that, but people who really see how much love has been put into a game will agree with me on that, because this game just really has it all. It's the last game that has still that real cool battle feel that we all loved so much about the series, and that kept coming us back and made us play for thousands of hours, you know, every day for, you know, until the next Battlefield came out, because we loved the game, the way it functioned, the way it felt, the controls, everything about it, until they decided to change it on us, and that's when they started to feel the hate. Not sure why they had to change everything. They tried to invent themselves, but sometimes it's better to just leave things alone, especially when they are, you know, just working really good. Why fix something that's not broken? That's pretty much, you know, the concept here. So the people that actually are like me and played this game like a ton and fell in love with it, know why they love this game so much. This game has like the most amazing atmosphere, the most amazing music, and the most amazing immersion. And what's really also cool about this game is that it is pretty accurate historically. It's going through all the historic places. It's using mostly historic guns. Yes, they did add some guns that weren't actually used, but they just wanted to give us more guns. I mean, I'm not one of the ones that is asking for new guns all the time, but there's a lot of people that are not happy if they just have 20 guns. No, they need like 50 guns. So of course the developer was trying to find guns that were existing in that period, even though they may not have been used in that particular war, or never been used. They were just experimental. But they still threw them in, and it still makes you feel like, you know, it was this period, you're actually there. Yeah, I don't know. I am a little rusty playing this right here, but let me tell you, I feel right at home. I know those maps like the back of my hand. I played those maps like 1,000 times, and I had so many cool experiences here, and happenings, and just wow moments. And I am very, very sad that they cannot make another game like this. I mean, this game was so good that even in the beta, it ran bug-free. The game ran so smooth, so great, that just playing the beta alone made you think like, wow, if this is the beta, how is the main game gonna be? This is amazing. And the main game wasn't any different really, because the beta was so flawless and so great and so fleshed out that they didn't really have to do any much to it, or whatever they did to it is not stuff that we like necessarily noticed. And then the game just ran so amazing through the whole 2 years it was active, and I never even hear people complain about it. The only people that really complained about this game were people that just wanted modern warfare, and, you know, they had a really hard time shooting the old guns, because yes, it takes quite a bit of skills to shoot an old gun that's kind of wonky, and you have to reload after some of the guns. You have to reload after 5 bullets already. But that's kind of what made this game so much fun, to just have this challenge of trying to still do well with really old guns and just kind of figure out which gun works how, and it's not all those automatic guns that you just kind of, you know, spray and pray. And of course there's still people running around in this game with, you know, LMGs, and there's actually, like this guy, there's a lot of people actually using the LMGs, and those are mostly the people that are just coming from, you know, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, and they want to have the same kind of feeling where they just kind of mow people down. And while it seems like really easy and cheap to do so, for me, it makes no fun to just kind of, you know, not having to use any skill to take people down. And also, you know, the more realistic way that people were fighting in this game is really with rifles, you know, with simple rifles. That's what they used. And you weren't running around with an LMG, because the LMGs are super heavy guns. Nobody was running around with them. They were stationary somewhere, you know, located, and there was probably not as many. And most, like, all the running soldiers were running around with rifles. And so I feel like if you really want to feel like you have, you know, you're part of this like World War I scenario where you're a soldier, you run around with a rifle and you try to do your best to do, you know, take people out. And I have to say, for being so rusty, I got so quickly back into this game, remembering, you know, how the loadouts work and how my settings were, why I had certain settings that way, and where the good spots are on all those maps. And I had a blast. I had an absolute blast playing this again. We played all the Russian maps from that one DLC, which are phenomenal maps, and all the DLCs basically in this game were phenomenal. I mean, they just came out with new maps over and over and over. And not something that you can say even with Battlefield 5, you know, even though Battlefield 5 is a way better than Battlefield 2042. But Battlefield 5 just wasn't the same anymore. It wasn't that where they came up with great DLCs and a constant influx of new amazing maps. It was just kind of, oh, we have to, you know, yeah, we should probably come up with a new map. And then it was just kind of like half-baked. It just did never feel like, you know, a lot of love was put into this game. And I don't know what really happened, you know, if they just got rid of all those people that actually had those great ideas, or if the people that had the great ideas for this game, for example, weren't allowed to bring up their great ideas in 2042. Maybe they were all trampled over and said, no, we don't care what you have to say, we want you to do that. And then the developers and designers probably were like, okay, that's kind of not what we think would run well, but let's just do it. I mean, who knows what happened? I think, you know, it just feels like people who worked on this game are a completely different group than people that worked on 2042. And I know, I mean, those games are ages apart from each other. I mean, this game, you know, World War II, you can't compare to the future of war when the world is damaged by horrible weather and all. But I'm still saying, you know, if they would have taken the concept of Battlefield 1, the way this game just felt and played and everything, and literally just, you know, took that formula and applied it to a new world with, of course, modern weapons and modern vehicles, but and you know, the world, how it would look like in the future when things are destroyed and everything. You know, why not make it interesting like this game? Why not give it an amazing soundtrack, which is like just giving you goosebumps every time you hear it, which is what happens here for every DLC. They had different music, and you know, I think they even had different music depending on what map you play. I mean, you just hear the music and you just feel like so immersed into this whole scenario that you just can't help it, and you just absolutely fall in love with this game. And I don't know. I think I could probably play this game for the rest of my life and not get bored with it. But I can't really say that about any other Battlefield game. While I did enjoy Battlefield 3 and 4 and Bad Company a lot, I never really got this exact feeling that I get with Battlefield 1. There is just something about this game that just makes it so special. I don't know what it is. And you know, I always recommend everyone to at least try it out, you know, if they have never played Battlefield 1. There's a lot of people that were hesitant to try it, and I have to admit, I was one of them. At the beginning, you know, after just coming from Battlefield 4, I was like, I cannot imagine Battlefield, 1 because it's in World War One. What was really exciting happening in World War One? Was there really anything? I mean, we all know, you know, how much happened in World War Two and how crazy it was, but World War One, man, I mean, did they even have any exciting weapons then? I mean, they probably just had like one rifle and, you know, one LMG, and that's about it. And I don't know how they can pull it off. I was very skeptic. I was not excited for this game at all. And then I played the beta, and I was just like, oh wow! I don't even know what to say. I was blown away. I was sold from the very first match I played in the beta. I was absolutely sold on the game. I was so excited. I'm like, man, they did their research on, you know, on World War One. I did not even know about all those things, you know, the planes, and I didn't even know they had tanks back then. I mean, that shows you how little I knew and how little we really know about World War One, because it was so long ago. It was before we all lived, and it was just something that we couldn't imagine. And I think a lot of people were like me, but then they didn't even give it a try. They were just automatically negative about it, and they were like, I don't know, that doesn't sound like fun, and I can't imagine playing this game, and nah, I'm just gonna keep playing Battlefield 4. And I think that's why a lot of people that have then ended up never trying it are still now in the same belief that, nah, Battlefield 1 doesn't sound right. I cannot imagine how this can be fun. And then I see people that actually never played Battlefield 1 and now get into it, and they're like, have the same feeling that I had. They're like, whoa, wow, I had no idea this game was so amazing. I am really glad I picked it up. And, you know, it's great now because you can actually play it for free if you have Game Pass. You can play all the Battlefield games for free. So, I mean, if you haven't tried this game yet and you like, you know, historical shooters that are pretty accurate and have amazing maps and super fun game modes that don't even exist anymore, that, you know, just keep you busy for hours and hours and hours, and you know, let you really feel the teamwork, then you should really try it out. Just give it a try. Hopefully you get into a server where they have a good map rotation, because I have gotten into a server where they rotated the same 3 maps over and over. So don't get fooled by that. There are certain servers where they literally just play, you know, 2 or 3 maps over and over and over. Try to find, you know, switch servers, go and check out what there is, because you have to experience all the maps. At least play each map once to kind of see what you think about this game. So, you know, let me know your experience if you are someone who played Battlefield 1, or someone who is kind of unsure about it, or maybe is someone who doesn't think that this is a great game. What are your opinions? Why are you not playing it? And if you're playing it, what makes you love this game so much, you know, compared to other Battlefield games? What makes this stand out? What is your opinion about it? Do you like it more than others or less than others? I'm actually really curious to find out if I even still have any subscribers left from my Battlefield days, because, you know, all I did for a few years is just play mainly Battlefield videos like crazy, and I got a lot of subscribers from that time. And then I kind of stopped posting Battlefield videos when Battlefield 5 was out, and I really tried to like this game or love this game, and I just couldn't get into it. I forced myself to play that for months and months, and then stopped, and then forced myself again to play it, and I just never felt that Battlefield again that I just had with all previous games, including Battlefield Hardline, which I feel like Battlefield Hardline at least had all the Battlefield elements in it, besides that it used, you know, non-military vehicles and non-military, you know, characters. But everything else was exactly Battlefield. It was the same amazing controls, the same, you know, loadout setup, the same amazing soundtrack, the same sounds, the same game modes. Everything was the same. It was basically just a different shell, and if you are not stuck on just playing a soldier, you were loving this game too, because Hardline was an absolute blast. I mean, we had so much fun in that game, the people that actually played it, and I have a bunch of videos about that too. But back to Battlefield 1, this game, in my opinion, yes, this is definitely the best Battlefield game that has ever been made if you are into games that have, you know, show a lot of love and character and extreme detail in the maps and exciting maps that are super different from each other. You won't find that in any other Battlefield game. And if you sit through the end of this video, you'll actually hear the amazing soundtrack if you haven't heard it yet. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.